Well, to start, my name is Dom Lewis. I go by Domitrick on the internet, and just here at the X Games.
X Games is the place to be.
Welcome to the party.
Oh my goodness, Colby Raha. Oh, we've broken the record.
Arissa True. The game done changed.
Like, this is a dream come true. This is the coolest thing ever. Happy to be here. Happy to flip around, show some people what I can do. But like, I'm just so pumped to watch all these other crazy athletes do stuff.
100%, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited that X Games is just finally here in my hometown. I grew up here. I grew up watching X Games all the time. You know, watch all the summer X Games. I can maybe do kick flips and heel flips on a skateboard, but beyond that, I can never do anything. But I'd always watch everything. And Utah is really important to me. I moved away for a number of years and came back, and trampoline was always like a big part of my childhood. I'd always go, you know, we had a rectangular trampoline in the backyard growing up, so we always had all the neighbors coming over. And then I discovered Lowe's, the trampoline gym in Provo.
It's a fun
that
spot.
everybody knows about, you know, the black and the green.
Yep.
You know, everybody's familiar with the branding if you do flipping. But I'm just excited that trampoline's finally at the X Games.
It's
And
insane.
that's kind of what I was thinking. I was driving up here. Like, trampoline's not in the X Games as an official event, but it's here at the X Games. We've got Akon that's advertising some of their products.
Yep.
And we've got a trampoline demo here that a bunch of athletes are doing that you're participating in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. At the X Games, you've got flipping and you have trampoline.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that, you know, some of the directors of X Games can see the high level of entertainment and be
Absolutely.
like, okay, this is something we want to be in the X Games, like as an official
Yes,
event.
that'd be to just become a medal event would be insane. And I mean, it seems like people are loving it so far. Definitely like had a lot of people walking around like, dude, we saw you on the trampoline. Oh, well, not me on the trampoline, but the other guys on the trampoline. They saw me on the air track. They're like, we saw you guys throwing down and doing your thing, and like that was so cool. And yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty special thing. I mean, this is a very high caliber event, obviously. Some of the top talent in the world from every respective sport. So the fact that trampoline, as you said, is here is already, that's a huge step forward. And it's awesome that, of course, they have like some of the most talented guys in the world on trampolines here, showing everyone what they got and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that one of the fun things about trampoline is that everyone can relate to it. Like, everybody's jumped on a trampoline.
Yes.
Right? Not everyone has ridden a BMX jump off a 50-foot jump. Like, obviously that's really cool.
It's terrifying.
But there's something, like, I used to do trampoline performances back in the day, and we'd go around and do fairs and festivals, and everyone can really relate to trampoline. Because like, everyone has that context of like, okay, I've been on my backyard circular
Right.
trampoline. I know how difficult it is,
Yeah.
what these guys are doing. And then they see athletes 20, 30 feet in the air doing quadruple, quintuple flips.
Yeah, some
And
of
so
them even more.
yeah, even more, exactly. It's like, you got to underestimate it, right? But everyone has that context and framing to understand like how awesome trampoline is. So I think in terms of a spectator sport, and you know, let's not kid ourselves, X Games is a big part of its advertising,
Yes.
and money and product placement.
Absolutely.
But I think the cool thing about trampoline is that viewers can relate to trampoline, and it really engages them. And you know, every fair and festival that we went to, a huge crowd just comes, and after the event, you've got lines of kids that want to come talk to all the athletes and like,
Yes.
oh, I can do a front flip, and you guys are doing triples, and
Yeah.
and so it's just fun how like the audience can really interact with trampoline and like really appreciate what the athletes
Absolutely. And kind of to speak to what you just said, like both parts, like how everyone can relate to trampoline because everyone's jumped on it, adults especially, like they've all jumped on them in the past, so they all understand, you know, it's pretty fun and it's cool. But then like kids as well, and they see everyone doing this stuff, and if we're being honest, like that's who most of these like companies are trying to market toward, is like getting to the parents so that the kids can see it. But like kids are the future, so getting the kids in there and like letting them see what's really going on, and not just, you know, the regular backyard trampoline, seeing that like other stuff can happen with trampoline it's pretty special. Because I mean, you see stuff online, of course. There's all kinds of viral clips of you know, acrobatics and things like that, but to see it in person is a whole other ball game.
Oh, 100%.
And so it is a pretty cool thing that you have all these people from all walks of life, every sport, and you know, they're seeing this stuff and they're just like, wow. Like it's
Exactly.
cool.
You see a guy 30 feet in the air, you're like, all right, I gotta
Yeah.
go check that out.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
It reminds
over
me
there?
of like with like tennis. If you like record like the crowd in tennis, you see their heads doing this, and like with trampoline, like everyone's just like wowed and just up and down.
Totally. It's mesmerizing.
Yeah, it's like
100%.
it's just captivating. So
100%.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think it's fun to see how trampoline has evolved over the years. Like I said, I grew up with a little rectangular trampoline in the backyard, and my dad was a skier, and he built this he built the first home that my family lived in, and
That's pretty
you know
cool.
he designed the backyard, planned it all out, and he's like, well, I'm not just doing some circle trampoline. I want like the coolest trampoline that we can have.
Mm-hmm.
So he found a rectangular trampoline, and so we had a rectangular trampoline, just a black bed, but it was in ground and everything, and so everybody would come over and jump, and me and my brothers were always trying to one up each other, right? So we're doing doubles, triples, like double bouncing, getting to quads and stuff. And finally, my mom was like, all right, you guys are gonna kill each other. Like someone is literally going to die. We need to find something for you guys to do. So this is back in the day. So she opened the Yellow Pages. You remember the Yellow Pages?
Oh,
You're
man.
still
Yeah,
around for
I'm-
the Yellow Pages, right?
I'm young, but I'm young. I'm old, but I'm not like. I'm old enough to know what
You-
Yellow
you
Pages were. I didn't
remember
use them
Yellow
much, but I
Pages, yeah.
remember the Yellow Pages and like the phone books being in the house. You know.
Yeah, you see mom and dad open them up. So
Yeah.
my mom opens up Yellow Pages, and she just looks up trampoline, and in the Yellow Pages she finds this gym that's here in Utah, and that does lessons. So I went and I tried out this gym, and I go and I try out, and I'm just terrible. I'm jumping on like a string bed for the first time, and I'm used to a black bed, so I
Yeah.
have like 3 times more power than I've ever had. I'm flipping like crazy. Like I think like the first thing I did was like a double back, like straight to my face. Like I had no idea where I was. Like
First time getting tramp burn.
yeah, dude, I'm just getting wrecked. And so I'm like demoing all these different things, and there's 2 coaches there, and one of the coaches is like horrified, and the other coach is this younger guy, and he's like, rock on, dude. He was like, this guy's awesome, and he was super stoked. It was my coach Clay, and but he was super hyped, and so he gave me a shot. So I tried out for the team, and I came from kind of like a snowboarding and skateboarding background, so I didn't really like kind of the structured kind of pointed toes and all that. But I slowly transitioned into doing that. But the only reason I did it was because I had my coach Clay, and he was like willing to kind of entertain a little bit of my freestyle with the structured traditional tramp. And so anytime we go to open gyms, the freestyle will come out. You know,
Yeah.
I'm starting to flip off axis. I'm starting to do, snowboard grabs and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was fun. So I kind of grew up in that environment where like a part of it, kind of the older school of trampoline was very structured, traditional trampoline,
Yes.
pointed toes. These are the routines you're gonna do. But my coach Clay really encouraged like the freestyle bit. He'd get out and bounce with us. He'd do flips off his stomach and off his back, and he had like the cool style.
Yeah.
And then I started going to more open gyms and just seeing the young kids doing all the freestyle trampoline, everything off their stomach, like kabooms. I was like, a kaboom, like how does that,
Yeah, how
you're
does that
landing on
work?
your back, but you're flipping backwards. Like normally if you land on your back, you're flipping forward. You
Yeah.
guys are doing it all backwards. But they kind of like rewrote the rules, right?
Yeah.
With freestyle trampoline. And so it's just fun. And I haven't personally like gotten big into freestyle trampoline. I can do like really basic stuff, but it's really fun to see every generation come and just really innovate on what the previous generation was doing. And now we're like 4 generations down the road. And I feel like I walk into the gym, I'm like grandpa, I'm like, one person on the trampoline at a time, But it's fun to see kind of the evolution. And now it's like with Akon, we're here at X Games, and now they're working to put trampoline as an event in the X Games,
which is so cool.
Super
just gone so many strides. But yeah, so somewhat similar story, but also not in the same way. Because I started off like doing a lot of the stuff on my own in my backyard with my brothers and stuff, and just like local friends. And so it was always very freestyle for us. We thought we were inventing skills half the time. So like the first time I did like a backflip, like a backflip with full twist, we thought we made that up. We called it a Mick twist. And so it was such a bizarre thing when like most of my life training just outside on grass and concrete. We didn't really have trampolines growing up. I would get on friends' trampolines here and there, but we didn't have one ourselves.
And this is Michigan?
And yes, so this is back in Michigan, where I grew up, Detroit area, just a little north of Detroit. And we didn't have trampolines or gyms or anything. So I started teaching myself stuff outside at the age of 4. And from 4 to 16, so 12 years, I was just training outside in grass and concrete. And then my first time in a gym, a gymnastics gym, I was 16 years old. I go to an open gym, and that was my first time seeing any sort of structure. And so I see all these gymnasts doing things, and I'm seeing like people doing double fulls and triple fulls, and I'm like, that girl just did a double McTwist. And we thought, like, they're doing these skills that we made up, and it really opened my eyes to see what was really out there. And so I started coaching. I started coaching at that gym. Like I loved it so much, going to open gyms, and I'm like, I want to learn a lot more about this. So they taught me how to coach properly, and that's something I've done now for, I'm 32, so half my life. I've coached now for 16 years, and I got really deep into the gymnastics world while still training myself, but in a freestyle way. Right. And so I do a sport mainly called martial arts tricking, and that is combining the gymnastics, tumbling, the martial arts kicks that I grew up doing as well. That was some structure I had in my life, was martial arts. I did martial arts as a kid. Yeah. And so combining kicks with the tumbling, and then some breakdancing stuff here and there, and kind of just having your own flair at what you do. And so I always stuck a lot with that, just having the freedom to do the skills I wanted, but I still really appreciated the traditional sense as well, and just knowing how certain mechanics can work with the body, and how like it can all be kind of taught in the same way to where people can really understand it and have it click. And I mean, of course, we all learn in different ways, but it was just cool to see that like there's a base and a foundation of, if you have this skill first, it will make this one a lot easier, stuff like that. Right. And so I respect that aspect of the traditional sense, but I definitely love the freedom of freestyle anything. So freestyle trampoline, tricking is just a freestyle sport in general. It started off with like XMA, so extreme martial arts, and it was traditional martial artists breaking out of the mold of just traditional forms and stuff, and going into like crazier things like, why can't we do a flip while we do these kicks? And why can't we twist a few more times and then kick? Yeah. And so it's just cool to see how the entire world of acrobatics has just kind of, in a sense, broken away from tradition, but still respect it, but have been able to break away from it and really hone in on themselves as individual athletes, versus this is how everyone should look when they're doing something. It's like, wow, that person just did something so incredible, such a high level, and this person just did something so incredible, so high level, but completely different skills. And so it's just, I don't know, it's just a very respectable thing, just knowing that, you know, with action sports in general, there's just so much freedom and so much fun, and that's why I like stuff like this with the X Games. You know, all of these athletes, skateboarders and stuff, they're all of these were more rebellious people, just kind of, you know, wanting to do stuff that they like to do, not necessarily what they're told they have to do. And so that's a big thing, especially with like a lot of these guys here for trampoline, and Akon bringing these guys in and just saying like, hey, you know what, we have amazing trampolines, we want you guys to show the world what you've got. And I've said it multiple times, but it's just a really special thing that it's gotten to here. And I mean, this is, I don't want to say it's the pinnacle, because it's not, right. There will be more to come, but like this is just such a huge leap forward. And I don't know, I'm excited to be a part of it.
100%.